freaking awesome. Welcome everyone to another Sledgehammer review. I'm your host, Dr. Sledgehammer, and most of my frequent viewers just knew this day was coming. We're finally getting to review Shadowrun on the Sega Genesis. Now, ever since I reviewed the Super Nintendo version and the books, I was just dying to get my hands on this version of the game. Well, now that I have this and my Retron 5, we can finally get this party started. While the Super Nintendo game played more like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that is very loosely based on Robert Turret's masterpiece Never Deal with a Dragon, the team developing the Sega version took a different approach and based the game on the actual tabletop game, following its rules much more closely, which I kinda find intriguing as I have never played the pen and paper game before, and I will probably never get to experience it because no one really wants to play with me. Now, I've often used music from this game in my videos because I believe it is one of the most badass soundtracks from any game in that era. Gets your heart pumping, makes you wanna frag some dreckheads in the Barrens. It was composed by veteran composer Sam Powell, who coincidentally also worked on the newer Shadowrun series from a decade ago. Sam Powell does have a YouTube channel that he occasionally plays the guitar on. You should probably go and check it out after watching this video. But as of right now, enough talk. Let's check this game out now, shall we? The first thing we gotta do is select a class. Now we have 3 classes we can choose from. A street samurai is basically a gunslinger with physical augmentations that are connected directly to the brain. These augmentations enhance strength, reflexes, reaction time, heck, some motherfuckers go as far as ripping off their own limbs to replace them with prosthetics. Some may even replace the muscles in their bodies with synthetic ones. Just look at this crazy motherfucker. This guy is so powerful, he can probably lift a rock. Bruh. Deckers are Shadowrunners that have one important physical augmentation. They have a computer directly connected to their brain and they can upload their consciousness via a so-called cyberdeck into matrix systems of mega corporations, where they steal company secrets and disrupt security systems. And lastly, we have the Shaman, a magic user that gains his power from the earth itself, often enhanced with one of the many talismans that he carries with him. Shamans usually have an animal spirit that gives them their power. Later on in the game you can retrain any of the 3 classes to be something else, so it doesn't really matter what you pick. Of course, you're gonna have an easier time at the beginning of the game if you pick the samurai or the shaman. So I'm going with the gunslinging samurai, and I'm going to cyber this motherfucker up to his gills. Simple is gonna be up to his eyeballs. So the gist of the story is that your brother Michael, a Shadowrunner from Seattle, was killed doing some biz in the wilderness of Sally Shitty Council, a Native American territory that surrounds Seattle, a city that is, by the way, part of the United Canadian and American States, or UCAS. To those of you unfamiliar with Shadowrun politics, this is like crossing into a different country. You are even required to carry a passport on you if you wanna go there. Could be anybody who killed his brother, could even be the border patrol that is strolling around there. You found out that your brother stayed in a motel in the Redmond Barrens in Seattle, which is basically the ghetto. Only asswipes live here. I mean, they even have an entire block named the Rat's Nest. Anyway, you make your way to the motel to pick up some clues on what exactly happened to him. And this is basically the entire story of the game. You are following a breadcrumb path of clues to your brother's killers. The story is really nothing special, it is the bare minimum to give the game purpose. Anyway, back to the motel. This gutter trash full can of shit dwarf doesn't just want to give you your brother's belongings back. No, he wants you to pay him $250 million for your brother's room. I spent my last time getting a cab to this motel, so I don't have anything left on me. So he's so kind to point me to the bar up the street so I can go and find work to pay him back. I mean, I'm mourning my dead brother here. You piss-ordered fuck. So you go to the bar up the street and talk to your first Mr. Johnson, a code name, by the way, for somebody who employs Shadowrunners. These guys are scattered in bars all over Seattle, and they do not only have jobs that help you make money and karma points for upgrades, no, they also have crucial information for your main storyline, and they have names of special contacts, or fixers as they're called here, that will give you items that are much cheaper than anywhere else, and special items that you find nowhere else. This guy, for example, can give you corporate badges that will allow you to waltz into some companies unharmed by the private armies that they employ. This one can strike your police record clean, which usually builds up when you decide to raid the donut vaults of the Lone Star police offices too often. These sugar-deprived motherfuckers will start coming after you in the streets. And this one can get you into Salashidi illegally for a handsome price. By the way, wanna know what's really fucked up? Every time you go to Salashidi, you have to buy a brand new passport for 500 fucking nuin. If you have a police record, you can't go there legally anymore and have to find illegal means which are much more expensive. For example, you can buy for 1000 nuin a brand new passport from Boris in the Redmond Barrens. The question is why though? Why do I have to buy a passport every time I go there? I mean, there are multiple main story quest lines that force me to go there multiple times, and trust me, when you have been playing this game for some time, you sure as hell have a police record, and it's fucking expensive to get it expunged. Our first Mr. Johnson only pays you minimum wage, and he only has like 3 types of jobs: package delivery, escort jobs, and killing ghouls in abandoned buildings, which is, by the way, my favorite at the beginning of the game, because you can earn a ridiculous amount of nuin per kill, especially when you upgrade your negotiation skills. I mean, look at this, 130 nuin per kill. Initially he offered me 10. This Johnson's negotiation skills could sure use some Viagra. Speaking of skills, the character sheet closely resembles the one from the tabletop game. It is definitely an upgrade from the Super Nintendo version. The fine details make this amazing. For example, the more augmentation you buy from the street merchants, the more connection you lose to your soul, which weakens your magical abilities. You have different types of weapon skills: biotech for healing items, a reputation skill that you need to enter certain establishments. You can of course sidestep many of these skills by hiring other Shadowrunners to join you in your little undertaking. There is no way you can max out all the skills you need in this game, unless you wanna waste like 300 hours of your life farming karma points. That being said, there are 2 skills you need to max out ASAP. Quickness, so you can outrun your enemies while shooting at them. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in the mud and get your ass whooped. And after that, go for negotiation. And trust me, this game will grind you to your bones. You will barely follow the main storyline, as you will be busy farming karma points and money to buy equipment. If it wasn't for this farming mechanism, the game would probably be like 2 or 3 hours long top. Instead, expect to play this for like 50 hours plus. This game may look like an early Grand Theft Auto game, but it sure as hell plays like the first Saints Row game. There's always one more shitty side mission that you have to do before you can progress a little further with the main storyline. So I'm supposed to escort some dude from the Hollywood corridors to the greenhouse. Sweet. Can you tell me which building is what? Now, any decent game would have some sort of map you can follow, and probably even a marker that tells you where you are and where you have to go. But here you have to keep guessing where to go. Seriously, the first couple of hours in the game just felt nauseating. I'm constantly checking out every building on the map so I can hopefully find my target. And even if I've been there before, I keep forgetting which building is what. But hey, I did find a solution for that. There you go. What? You didn't have a printer and internet in 1994? What a loser, man. Get with the times, bro. The game is filled with random events that happen to you as you wander around town. You are often jumped by the local mafia and have to defend yourself. Often you have random shit happening to you, like these guys who take photos of you for no reason and make you run for it. A dude who wants to sell you cheap grenades. Injured people that would either attack you when you dare to give them medical aid or pay you money. Or just some random Randraco operatives who are pissed that you raided them. As a matter of fact, I raided them just last Tuesday, and I had a blast. Raids on some of the world's largest mega corporations are basically the dungeons in this game. You will either come here looking for some item in one of the many safes in the building, or you will look for somebody who wants to quit his job. Because in the world of Shadowrun, corporations own you, and you cannot just up and leave whenever you want. No, you have to hire Shadowrunners to abduct you from the building. The more skill you have, the easier it gets. Have a high charisma score and gods will mostly leave you alone. Have the right attributes and equipment and you can easily bypass security. Except for these annoying electronic doors that are all over the building. They're annoying as hell because it takes forever to open them all. You need insanely high electronic skills to have a good time here. Of course, you can always blow them up with a grenade, but it will trigger the alarm and guards will start butt-fucking you from different angles. You can, if you have enough cash, get a Mactronic key to sidestep spending your karma points, but it's really expensive. By the way, at some point in the game, the locks just stopped working altogether and I was just able to walk through the doors freely. No idea if that is a bug, but I'm really grateful for that. Because I'm tired of getting stuck on level 2 doors and triggering alarms. You are often interrupted by surprising encounters with people working in the company, traps that should you have enough skill you can prevent from springing, or invisible security mages. Look at this motherfucker trolling us right here. He throws his toothpick at us and goes like, "What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do, bitch?" Or this Karen right here demanding to see my ID this instant before she reports me to the manager. I can of course get fake IDs, but it'll cost me money and it takes a huge amount of time to get money. So you're always short of something, but god, does this game have detail. I guess getting so much detail right isn't really hard when you're smart enough to base your game's rules on an established tabletop game. What? Where the fuck did these hellhounds come from? For fuck's sake, what company bunkers these in their office space?
Oh, hey, Chief. I think I've got someone for you. Alright, get this. His name is Snuffles. He was born on the 20th of November 1942. He breathes fire, so he keeps destroying company property. And he keeps getting lost. By the way, he fucked your mother back in the 70s. If you want my professional advice, great leadership material right there. The first thing you have to do is you have to find a security node, turn off the security system and find out on which floor to look for your target. Some buildings have like 6 floors. Without knowing where to look, it'll take you forever to find out what you're looking for. And this is a war of attrition. Eventually you will use up all of your medkits and guards will start offering you a good butt-fucking orgy. Here you see me barely making it out alive. All I have to do is reach the door and... oh fuck. Well, the second type of job that you have to do is enter the Matrix. You are mostly here to steal documents, but you can also enter the Matrix while on a raid to shut down security. One good Matrix run can easily net you 10,000 nuyen and a buttload of karma points. The problem is, the Matrix is as boring as fuck. All you have to do is try and avoid turning ICs hostile by masking yourself by spamming the mask button over and over and over again. And if they turn hostile, you fight them. How do you fight them? You press on the attack button over and over and over and over again, and if your skills aren't high enough, it's gonna maybe take you like 15 minutes to beat one hostile IC. And they have these nasty attacks that destroy your programs, so you have to go and buy them again and upgrade them for ridiculous amounts of money. Well, all you have to do is follow the map, disable the CPU, and raid the data store nodes for vital documents along the way. You will do this for roughly 10 to 15 hours until you can upgrade all of your characters properly. Do not get me wrong, the Matrix is well made for a Sega Genesis game. It kinda even resembles the Matrix described in the books. You even have your oh shit moments when black ICs drag your actual authentic ass into the Matrix and start to ice you. What? No! No! But emotions wear off pretty quickly as everything becomes mundane. While I concede that this is a complete game mode that is quite intricate and has a lot of depth, it is no better than a damn browser game. It's fucking boring. It's just dumb button mashing until you make your money and you get the fuck out. Saying anything else would be dishonest. Where is the virtual hospital that Dirk Montgomery and Buddy the Veteran Decker infiltrated in 2XS? Where is virtual Camelot from the Secret of Power trilogy with the sentient IC that can trap Deckers inside the Matrix? These were bone-chilling moments from the books that I will remember for the rest of my life. This brings me to my final point. The game does feel alive. I mean, you never know what is gonna happen when you wander around Seattle. However, the major problem this game has is that the story fucking sucks. I have zero connection with Joshua and his troubles. The story seriously reads like it was written by your friend that runs Saturday's tabletop session, not by a bunch of professional writers. It just doesn't justify the grinding you have to do in order to be able to finish the main storyline. And by the way, I did most of the main story in one sitting. It took me exactly 2 hours to finish it. Compare that to the Super Nintendo version, which is far less faithful to the source material but integrates the quest system perfectly into the main storyline. Yes, there is grinding over there as well, but here it's just on another level, man. The main gimmick I keep hearing about is that this is an open world that we can interact with. Well, if it's poorly done, it doesn't help that it's open world, and sometimes linear is just better. I'm really grateful having played this game, because for the first time ever I felt like I played the actual tabletop game. In my opinion, this game is a great gateway into the Shadowrun universe, and it teaches you the fundamentals of the tabletop game quite well. Having said that, the game gets a 6 out of 10 from me, because it aged like milk. Of course, this isn't my final Shadowrun video, there's still books to read, and there is a much more modern Shadowrun game series that I have to have a look at. Perhaps one that even learned from the flaws of this game? Anyway, I was Dr. Sledgehammer, and I will see you guys in the next Sledgehammer review. Bye.